Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about a revolution, and that revolution is the Halo car representing its brand. It makes 1000 horsepower, it doesn't have a V12, and it is their first ever plug-in hybrid. Today we're talking about the new Ferrari SF90 Stradale. Before we get into the spaghetti and meatballs of the FS90, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and enable notifications so you never miss a new video. In 2010, Ferrari said that the brand would never make an electric car. Well, I guess they changed their mind because that is exactly what we have with the FS90 Stradale. Over the years, Ferrari has developed a reputation as a brand that holds to tradition. They are always the last one to jump on the bandwagon when it comes to new hypercar technology, while other brands are busy developing new technologies and implementing them into their cars, aka McLaren. Ferrari just smiles as they put another naturally aspirated V12 into one of their cars. Why? Because it's Ferrari. But has everything changed with the SF90 Stradale? Only Ferrari knows for sure, but it seems that Ferrari has finally broken with tradition and is now moving in the direction of the future. The SF90 Stradale was shown in 2019 to 2,000 of its potential customers at a private event in Maranello, Italy. You'd expect that for a 1000 horsepower hypercar like the SF90, that only a few cars would be produced like the Laferrari, but this is actually Ferrari's first hybrid that is going into series production, and they are expected to produce around 2,000 of them. Each SF90 will cost around $400,000, which is a relatively low price point for a car of its caliber, let alone a Ferrari. The appearance of the SF90 is stunning to say the least, but it doesn't look like your traditional hypercar with a massive front splitter, long side skirts, and a giant rear wing. Ferrari has done a nice job of eliminating all those things to give the SF90 a much sleeker and old school look. The SF90's front bumper has massive vents to allow air through. It also has an opening in the middle of the bumper that lets air go straight through the bumper and over the hood, helping push the front end down. The SF90 has a new headlight design, and right below them, Ferrari has integrated vents to help cool the brakes. Heading down the side of the car, we see big air scoops that are separated into two channels. One side sends air to the radiators, and the other sends air straight to the engine. As we make our way towards the back of the SF90, we see that the rear end is dramatically different than any Ferrari we've seen before. It has 4 small square taillights with dual exhaust exiting pretty high up on the bumper. The SF90 also has a spoiler with an integrated active rear wing. There is a large gap for air to pass under the spoiler, and it also has a third brake light. The SF90, although it does not have a massive rear wing and front splitter, it does have a crazy looking rear diffuser, made completely out of exposed carbon fiber. The underside of the car also has vanes right before the rear diffuser to direct air for more downforce. The SF90's engine is a bored out version of the 3.8 liter V8, making it into a 4 liter flat plane crank twin-turbocharged V8 that produces 986 horsepower. The engine sits extremely low in the engine bay, helping to keep the center of gravity as low as possible. On the right side of the rear deck lid is the gas tank opening, and on the left side is the charging port for the hybrid system. Taking a seat in the SF90 Stradale's interior feels much different than Ferrari's traditional confusing and complicated interiors of old. The FS90's interior is much sleeker and more organized. There is a curved 16-inch screen behind Ferrari's new generation steering wheel. The steering wheel is all touch controlled, except for the familiar magneto switch, the blinkers, and the navigation pad. The center console of the SF90 features 3 switches designed to look like an old-school gated shifter. It's a unique touch, and it's Ferrari's way of remembering its past as it moves on to a new future. The switches control the reverse mode, automatic and manual modes, as well as launch control. Behind those are the window controls, and ahead of them is the hazard light button. To the right of the steering wheel are the climate controls, and to the left are the camera controls as well as the nose lift function. There is also a few controls on the roof. The interior of the SF90 is very simple, but packed with technology and style. The SF90 has an EV mode, which uses the 2 electric motors on the front axle, turning the FS90 into a front-wheel drive Ferrari. You can drive up to 15 miles in EV mode, and at a top speed of 86 miles per hour. The SF90 has an overall top speed of 211 miles per hour, and can reach 60 in 2.5 seconds. The FS90 uses regenerative braking to recharge the battery, or it can be plugged in at any normal charging station or at home. A third electric motor acts as a booster for the other 2 motors at the front wheels, and it is also responsible for driving the car in reverse mode, as its 8-speed dual-clutch transmission doesn't have a reverse gear, which allows it to shift 30% faster than before. The SF90 also has torque vectoring, which not only helps the SF90 produce more grip, also for reverse mode, as the 2 electric motors are the only thing driving the wheels. The SF90 Stradale is the future for Ferrari, and it will be interesting to see how they move forward. I like the look of the SF90, but mostly its simplicity and pure functionality. It definitely stands out as one of the more unique hypercars out there. Thanks guys for tuning in to this episode of 0 to 60. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for more car content coming soon. I'll see you in the next one.